Hello, welcome back. Welcome to the best brownies you will ever eat. This is the recipe for my absolute favorite brownies. This is probably one of my most favorite recipes. These are super double chocolate, extra rich brownies that will hit you. They are super fudgy, super heavy, super delicious. They're buttery. They're absolutely amazing. But first, I just want to say thank you to everyone who liked and subbed on my last video. I really appreciate that. That's amazing. All right, let's get into it. So our ingredients, we're looking at 1.5 cups in sugar, 1.25 cups of flour. That's about 1 tablespoon of salt mixed with baking powder. It's 2 cups of chocolate. We've got baking powder, butter, and eggs. There's also vanilla extract in this. I'm going to use this old silicone pan. As you can see, it's completely stained from brownies. I make brownies. I make Jell-O in this. It just works. Everything comes out perfect. So first thing we're going to do is start with the double boiler. Get your double boiler going, turn it down, drop 1 cup of chocolate and a stick of butter in there, and then go back to what you're doing in the other room. This can sit here. The butter and the chocolate will melt on its own. Don't touch it. Don't mess with it. It will do its thing. Just don't get any water in there. Preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. This is about 200 or 190, 170 Celsius. So we're going to put the sugar, the flour, the salt, and the baking powder. So you can see I put extra salt in here. The reason for that is the connection between salty and sweet are super important. So we're going to mix those two things together, and we're not going to put the chocolate in yet. That's the other half of the chocolate. There's 2 cups of chocolate in the recipe. 1 cup gets melted. 1 cup goes in and make a double chocolate. We're going to break 3 eggs into the dry mix, and we're going to mix it up. At this point, you're going to have a batter. It's going to mix into a batter, relatively smooth, depending on the size of your egg. Sometimes this can be a little bit thicker. This recipe is almost impossible to mess up. You put these ingredients in there, mix them up, even if you put the ingredients in wrong. I've mixed up the sugar and the flour ingredients, and it still comes out perfect. I'm going to put a little shot of real vanilla. Those are vanilla beans soaking in rum. So we just make our own extract, but that's the idea behind that. Just a touch. And then you can see our butter and our chocolate has now melted on the double boiler. It's barely on. The fire is barely on under this, and we're just mixing it until the chocolate and the butter are completely smooth and mixed together. A little tricky mixing this with one hand and trying to stabilize the bowl and videotape at the same time, so I apologize. But the idea here is to get a very smooth, creamy chocolate texture. Again, don't get any water in this or it'll ruin it. But just keep mixing. It should, while you were making the brownie mix, this should have melted to this point and be ready to go. So I'm just scraping the edges, making sure it gets to that nice, smooth, buttery consistency, which it is. Now we're going to go toss it in the mix. So I let it cool down a little bit, but not too much. And then we're going to pour it directly into our batter. This is going to make the first chocolate of the double chocolate. So as we mix that together, you'll see it becomes very chocolatey, and you want to make sure you get all of your chocolate out of the bowl. You know, you don't want to waste anything. So we can get rid of that metal bowl, and we can start mixing this all together. Now, the reason I don't put my chocolate chips in at this point is because the chocolate mixture is a little bit warm, and it will melt those chocolate chips, which isn't what I'm going for right now. I want an actual chocolate chip as well as a chocolate brownie. So I add the chocolate chips at the end. And we just get it mixed up, get it all. You'll see if you scrape the edges, you'll see if there's a little bit of batter that's not chocolatey. Mix it really good. Then throw in your last cup of chocolate chips. Mix those in real good. Don't go crazy. And at this point, you can put it in the mold and put it in the oven, and it's done. But you can also do a lot more. You could throw nuts in at this point. You can put other chocolate chips, caramel chips in there. You can put, if you watch my butterscotch video, you can put butterscotch directly on top of the brownie and make like a turtle brownie. If you put nuts inside of it and the butterscotch on top, you make a homemade turtle brownie. These brownies are very versatile. You can do pretty much whatever you want with them. Once you've made the mix, you put whatever you like inside of them. I am going to put white chocolate on this. So my idea here was to do lines of white chocolate across the top so that when you bite into the brownie, there'll be a little bit of crunchy white chocolate in some of the bites, but not all of the bites. You could mix the white chocolate into it. You could leave the white chocolate out. This just kind of triples the chocolate factor. So I end up putting these lines here, and it came out really good. But do what you want with it at this point. At this point, you can put it in the oven and just eat it, and it's a very good brownie. One of the things that makes this brownie recipe so good is it uses butter. And for anybody who's looking to infuse their brownie recipe, having butter in the recipe is really clutch. A stick of butter will make these extremely potent brownies. So if you're looking to infuse your butter, put it into the butter chocolate mix, and you will have some brownies that will put you on the floor. So we're going to throw this in the oven. This actually took almost an hour to cook. Normally I put it in about an hour for 350 and then I check it. So we're looking at it now. It's in the oven. It's just starting. As you can see, it's coming together, it's starting to rise up, and then we're getting towards the half-hour mark, and it looks like it might be done, but we're going to give it a test, and clearly not done. So we're going to give it another 25 minutes, and at this point, we're done. We're looking good. You can see it's starting to crack on top. Fork goes in, comes out clean. You might get a little chocolate on there. Remember, there's chocolate chips in there, so it won't come out perfectly clean. But this is after I cooled it, and you can see how it just pops right out of these molds. The mold looks like terrible, but it's just permanently stained. There's nothing I can do about that. But look how easy it pops out and how easy it is to just pop it out, dice it up, and then you just warm these brownies back up. And I mean, you can see how dense and chocolatey they are inside. They are incredibly rich. Super, super, super chocolatey brownie that I promise you will love. If you like these brownies or you have a better brownie recipe, let me know in the comments. Let me know if you make these brownies. Let me know if you watched this video and found it useful. All of your feedback is extremely useful to me, and I really appreciate everybody who watches my videos, especially if you watch to this point in the video. You're watching pretty much the whole video. So I very much appreciate that, and the likes and subs are just an extra bonus that you found this informative and useful. So thank you so much for watching my videos and having the response that you have, and let me know what you think of my brownies, and let me know what you think of my butterscotch. You can see the recipe for the butterscotch is also up on my page. I will link it in the description down below. But these brownies, 2 of these brownies, a little bit of ice cream, any ice cream you like, and then throw on the butterscotch topping, and you have an epic brownie dessert that will blow people's minds. So enjoy and infuse away.